Good morning, YouTube. Today is a glorious back day. We're gonna get a great pump. It's gonna feel amazing. I feel the pump coming already. And even though we are about 3 weeks out and I'm feeling flat here and there in the morning, I feel like when I get a workout in, normally, like 2 weeks ago, I used to feel flat and not feel the mind-muscle connection that much. But lately, we've been so locked in. I've been feeling it, man. I've been feeling good, really good. But yeah, some things on my mind this morning. So I was in California the other day, and my father-in-law is actually an actor for Star Wars, and he like plays as like droids, as like just characters in the background. And I was asking his perspective on and his experience of how he got the gig and everything. And what he pretty much did, he cosplayed a lot and he built a lot of his own costumes. And he started with C-3PO, and I believe it was through C-3PO he got the gig to be featured as C-3PO in commercials for Disney. And I believe he's helped out with some work and worked side by side with the actual guy that played as C-3PO. Like, he even read his book and everything, and like, he was pretty obsessed with it. So I really admire the creativity of my father-in-law. And lately I've been talking to people on Instagram that are cosplayers themselves, and they're like really talented and awesome. And me, I'm a full-time posing coach. And this one guy reached out to me like, hey, I've been like following the stuff for your bodybuilding page, because he felt like he could implement it as well in his own posing, because I guess in cosplayers there's not a lot of good posers out there. So my mind started shifting a little that, you know, posing can not only be for bodybuilders, and that's what I mainly do, and most of my clients are for men's physique. But hey, we could hit cosplayers too, because my style of posing is it's for the nerds, the geeks, the weebs, everybody. If you watch my page, it's all about like acting really, because me and my father-in-law were talking about that he has seminars sometimes where he teaches people how to pose or to act, to get into character. And for me, myself, when I pose, there's an energy I bring out, and it's literally the same thing. Like we pretty much believe and wonder, oh, how will Sub-Zero move, and how will he flick his hands out when he gets into his fighting position? Or even like Iron Man, like he's very technical and also precise with his movements, so he will be a little bit more sharp in his movements when he poses. Or even Captain America, like he could be very graceful but strong. There's so many things to it, and that's what I think of when I'm doing my posing. And most of the people I'm working with, they are first timers, so we always want to focus on the foundation and give them a very simple routine. But when you master those things, that's when you can play with a little bit more character and making it tailored to the energy you want to bring out into your posing. It takes a lot of time. Like I was doing a session the other day, and the guy, you could feel he wanted to be at level 10 already, but just the very simple posing I was already showing him, it was very difficult. Like he said, his posing for 30 minutes was more difficult than his 40 minutes of cardio. And he's like, I think he's like 4 to 5 weeks out. So he's pretty deep into it. But anyways, we're about to smash these pancakes because that's all we eat here. And I'm eating 2 Oreo, what is it? The peanut butter cream pie. Super good. It's like, what is it? It's like a Nutter Butter. I only have 2 a day. So if you're new here, I only eat 2 Oreos a day. I know we were 3 weeks out, but I track all my macros perfectly. I add them all up to hitting, what are my macros at? They're at 235 carbs, 210 protein, and only 45 fat for the day. So just look at that, man. What is that? It's so beautiful. What is that? Looking yummy. Now I'm gonna go use the restroom, just because honestly, when you're on prep, you're eating you're drinking a lot of water and you're depleted, and not depleted, but you're there's no carbs absorbing my water, so I need to release it all the time. So your boy needs to use the toilet for the third time for the day already. So being a man of consistency with food and training, the one thing I'm not really consistent in is supplement branding. Look, I got like a BPN cup, and I use BPN and electrolytes to help me start my day. And I'm using creatine from this brand called Revolution. It's what my wife likes. She likes this brand called Revolution because we get these 2 tubs and we get them for a really good price compared to anywhere else in the market. Personally, for me, I want to pretty much have everything match. That's just how I am. And we've been fortunate where Village Hidden and Iron, they sent me some supplements, and I'm trying to ease off of caffeine, so I'm only gonna do 1 scoop of this, and I'm also gonna do a scoop of Ghost Pump. And I will say I do like Ghost products. Like, I like their protein, their cereal, their energy drinks, everything. It's just like, I really want to lock in on a brand where I could vibe with the most, vibe with the people, because there's some brands out there where it's just like, it's like a lot of teenagers, and I'm late 20s and I want to relate to people that are more like-minded, a lot of bodybuilders. And I've tried like the big ones. I've tried like Rise, Raw. I've tried Evogen too because it's very bodybuilder-esque. And then right now I'm finishing up this Ghost, and we actually just ordered a Ghost, so I'm just, I had to go through that one. There is a brand called Hostile Subs by Fuad, and there's something about it, man. It just like calls my name. And you guys tell me in the comments if you've ever tried it before, because I'd be curious to know like what you guys think with that product, because I'm looking for something that dissolves very well and that has a good branding behind it. Like, I'm not trying to look for your like basic like branding bottle where it just looks like, I don't know, it just looks like medicine or like a doctor's prescription type of thing. Like, I want it to look cool, and I want their aesthetics to look very unique. And Hostile was really catching my eye lately, so I might place an order here soon. Well, probably within the next couple of 3 weeks, just because I like to finish all my stuff first and then I move on to whatever I want to try next. And even like these Oreos, man, I have 2 different flavors. I wish they came in like less packaging, like less pieces, just because I just want to go through the flavor and move on to the next one. So that's how I am. And even in the fridge too with my food, I won't get new like sources of carbs until I finish all my sources of carbs. Like right now I'm using potatoes mainly, and I'm just kind of getting like bored of potatoes, and I want to go back to rice. Even though rice doesn't have too much volume, your boy's just craving like, I don't know, just rice. I just want the fluff. One of my friends, Daniel, he's been eating like rice with chicken and strawberries or tomatoes, and for some reason that sounds so delicious to me. It's so plain and bland, but hey, whatever. We're also going to take a shot of salt, just because salt definitely helps with the pump. So I'm just going to put salt in my hand, take it to the dome. Some people can't handle it, but it's like, bro, it's salt. It's from the earth. It's fine. Let's get this back there rolling. Hey. You know you're hitting a back workout right when
it feels like a welding torch is being inserted into your lat insertion. That's when you know you're gonna get a really good stretch, good contraction in the muscle. Another thing too, notice that when I'm lifting, I do my best to lift my chest at an angle, opening up my back a little more, and it helps me get more of a stretch when I lift up. Notice that my neck too, it's neutral to spine. I strive my very best to not tuck it or even lean it back too much, or else my traps will be activated and I'm tempted to pull with my traps. We're always pulling with the lats. We're here to grow, not ego lift. Notice that I'm allowing the weight to go up. All control. Hey. 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 Slow and control, just like how we like it. It's always good to have slow tempo in your workouts, and you tell me what you guys listen to when you work out, because lately I've been listening to a lot of like Tron Legacy, Metroid, Interstellar, anything that's like a slower tempo, which makes me feel like I'm like conquering the universe and all the burdens and weight that life has to offer. It just makes me feel like a deity in my own field and conquering everything, and I don't know, it just brings a lot of power to my movements and control. So that's what I do for my lifts. I used to listen to a lot of heavy metal. Heavy metal is and still is my #1 genre that I really like. A lot of nostalgia there. But for workouts, I need to have a slower tempo music to really pace me and mentally cue me like, all right, we gotta control this. We can't go too fast, no ego lifting, can't be overhyped. Every little inch, a centimeter of fueling and pushing the blood in the muscle is all what matters. This is a tricky one because I want to do a reverse grip, but the handles here, see how they're like this? So I had to pull from these corners. I could use a grip, but I don't have time to look for grips right now, and I'll just use these pulling wraps to kind of in a way create the grip for me to pull underhand. Two. Sheesh, that was rough, bro. Whew. That was a hard set. Honestly, this weight is kind of a lot for me. It's just a plate and a 25. We're gonna stay here though, because we were able to control it, but I could feel my traps wanting to take over. So to be really careful, making sure that we're pushing all the muscle in the upper lats. Because honestly, I mean, I need to grow everything all around. But last year, when I was going down to my prep, I'm talking on the wrong side. So last year when I was on prep, every time I saw my scale going down, mentally I kind of gave up a little. It was just like, okay, my weight is going down. That means I'm losing muscle, therefore I'm not that strong. So I should take off the weight off the rack in the coming weeks. But right now, we've been staying at the same weights for about a month or two. And if anything, yeah, we're just mentally pushing ourselves to make sure we stay and hold on to muscle as much as possible. To be honest, guys, I'm not a specialist in the science of working out and knowing how many reps I'm supposed to be doing, how much I should have in reserve. My coach is the one that plans my whole program, and I just hit the standard of what he wants me to. So right now, he's wanting me to hit around 15 reps, 10 to 15. And so I like to stay in the 15 range just to push volume, because for me personally, the more volume I push, the more results I've seen in my physique. And also, I get an awesome pump while doing it. And if the weight, it does seem easier, if anything, I slow down my tempo and just focus more on the squeeze at the bottom of my sets. And oh shoot, dude, the intensity is A1 for sure. But let's get this last set in. We're really feeling it. Don't let the mind limit you is what my coach Brady says. Not sure if you guys have older siblings or anything, but you would be a little rough. My older brother would be a little rough with me. He would try to choke me out because he was really into MMA. And sometimes when you're about to get choked out, you're either gonna tap or you just gotta let it by and find that one opening to go out and just make like a move. I mean, I never made a move just because I was too tiny, and my brother is like 15 years older than me. But what I'm trying to say is, you'll see yourself in those pockets where you feel like you can't finish the set. Like you're just like, okay, that's it, I'm done. But you just gotta hold on to it a little bit longer. Hold on to that chokehold that is having a grip on you. And the more you wait, the weight will slowly come down, and it's just a mental battle at that point. Then you're hitting failure. You're hitting that perfect intensity for the set. Shout out to Alphalete, man. They sent me this hat, and they sent me a few of their rib tanks. They come in a 2-pack, and honestly, they're super worth it. In my opinion, the aesthetics of a beater tank really just enhances the shape of your physique. Like, it teases the upper chest, shows off the shoulders very nicely, and it tapers your lats and shows the back. Just super aesthetic. And on top of that, these aren't like your Walmart brand ones where it'll get wrinkly right after you do a few washes. This one stays true to form. For example, if I pull it, it's gonna pull back into my physique nicely tight. And I'm wearing a size XL, so I'm about 5'9", 162 pounds. So once we get into off season, we're probably gonna go up to a 2X, which is kind of weird to say because I've always been the skinny kid and didn't think I would ever fit these sizes. I remember being a small for years, but now we're getting the big boy size, which makes me feel good because coming from a Samoan family, I was always teased for being smaller, but I'm also half Mayan too, so it's just like I get the best of both worlds, so there's that as well. Let's hit this next set. Aye. Here it is, the chokehold. Alright, my Usos, so we're gonna wrap up the video here in the car. It was kind of funny, so after I finished my last set, the EOS worker came up to me and said that cameras weren't allowed and told me to stop recording. And it was funny because when I got signed up to do this commercial gym, they said that cameras were allowed and you could totally film content and post it on YouTube or Instagram and everything. And I guess the guy, he helped me out too. He looked through the policies and says, yeah, you're totally fine as long as you don't record in the restroom, which I still don't understand why people record in the restroom. It's kind of, that's definitely an invasion of privacy. But it was funny. I kept it pretty chill. Like, I know she was just doing her job, but it comes to seem that someone was just complaining and they went to the front desk and said something about me recording, which I totally get. It's something that a lot of us are doing and recording our sets. I mean, people don't know the intention behind it. I mean, my intention is just to show off my authentic self and just to kind of show you that I'm just like a normal guy, and I have this basis of training as well as the posing side of things, so nothing crazy. But after that, I did 30 minutes of cardio and it wasn't too bad at all, and we're feeling pretty good going into this new week. I feel like the hardest thing right now with prep is mainly the lack of focus and the emotions. I guess I am getting a little bit short-tempered with some things, like impatient with things, whether it be like as simple as a dish not being put away or just someone cutting me off. I'm normally pretty chill and I just don't care about those little things, but lately it's just like I get bothered by things that might affect my energy, and so I get kind of short-tempered. It's just like, darn it, like I can't give in to this frustration or else it's going to take away my energy. So yeah, it's super silly. But and on top of that too, my emotions towards romance and care and being a husband has been pretty numb lately. Like, it hurts me to see that, just because, I mean, Paige, she's my number one supporter. We've been married for 4 years and we've gone through a lot together, and it's this year, this 4th year of marriage, that we have come to really, overcome both of our traumas and things that we had to deal with growing up, and we have discovered who we are. We're gaining more confidence, and we're just in a really good place, and like we truly love each other. Not that we didn't love each other before, but the love is like growing intensely this year, especially with because Paige comes from a background of split parents, and I come from a background of parents being in the home. But even if with those backgrounds, I mean, we still have our personal struggles and so forth. Like, Paige has her strengths and weaknesses, and I have my own, but her strengths really balance and help my weaknesses, and my strengths really help her weaknesses. And so we're definitely a good team there. And with my lack of energy and being like 100% present is kind of difficult for me to kind of channel like mentally and physically and really be there for her. And it's been hard for me, man, just because I really want to be there for her, and I am doing all I can to do that. So we are taking this new week in a different approach, where when I am stressed or overwhelmed, I have the freedom of taking, time to relax. And so this week I've been working on just like laying down and absolutely doing nothing and not stimulating my brain with YouTube or Instagram or anything. Like, I'm making my comments and feedback to people on IG very limited now, because the more I think about it, the more I get overwhelmed and I get stressed. And going into this prep, I really want to be as calm and relaxed as possible and give my body time to recover. Same with sleep too. It's normally, like, I'm programmed to like sleep on 7 hours, but I've been pushing to sleep for 8 to 9, maybe even 10, just to make sure my body is really getting all the rest it needs for me to, come out great on show day. Don't sleep on sleep. It's really important. So one thing to take away from this, guys, is be uncommon, like fear mediocrity. Everybody is doing the same things, and what makes you different is really pushing yourself to failure in your training, really just having that intensity, that overwhelming intensity to your workouts. And on top of that, when you go home, like nail your macros, track your macros, make sure you're hitting your protein, your fat, your carbs. And then 3, just optimize recovery, but most importantly, like be present for your loved ones, because they definitely need you. And that's what I'm striving to do these next few weeks and even weeks to come. I'm purely more excited for an off season to grow, not only physically but as a person, and to really have more, I guess, freedom with Paige once my energy is up and running again, because we are feeling limited. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you till next time. You guys go destroy your goals.